I got a seed in the ground. Yes, that is what the collective harvest is all about. Everything is working together for our good. Do you know that? Do you know that everything is working together for your good? All right. Before I go in, because that song could take me there, y'all. That song could take me there. So let me bring us back to our collective harvest. And I like to ground us in the definition. So collective is forming a whole, combined. It's from the Latin root collectus, meaning with and together. So collective, with, together. And harvest is the season when ripened crops are gathered, the collection of any resource for future use, to reap. And from Old German, it means autumn. Greek, it means fruit. And Latin, it means to pluck. So I'm excited about September and this theme, because when we understand the meaning of collective and harvest, we see that this month isn't just about our own individual growth. It's about the power of our energies together, our intentions together, our actions coming together, and that every pattern of thought that we hold, every feeling with conviction, every quality we embody, every seed that we plant contributes to a larger field of consciousness. So as we step into this sacred frequency of fall, we are in our preparation time. We get to remember again and again that we are creators in this collective harvest of love, this collective harvest of joy, of peace, of wholeness, of oneness. What we plant in consciousness, we gather in life, individually and together. So let's open ourselves fully to this energy, align with the law of harmony, and prepare to reap the spiritual fruits of the seeds we have sown in our hearts and our lives and in our community. So in both the natural and the spiritual sense, the collective harvest is all about what we've sown individually and now are bringing together to reap for today, and not just for today, but for future use, right? Because the harvest is not just for today. The harvest gives us the resources for our future use. In our teachings, we call this collective consciousness, or what Ernest Holmes often refers to as race consciousness. What we sow in consciousness is what we reap in consciousness. There is no separation between the two. My harvest impacts yours, and your harvest impacts mine. Together, we shape the field of life. Now, the word harvest in Latin means to pluck. And I love saying that word, pluck, 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 pluck. So when we look around the world today, y'all, sometimes we want to say WTF, right? We want to say WTF. But instead of saying WTF, we could say, what the pluck? What the pluck? Because what we are saying WTF to is what is being reaped from what has been sowed in a collective consciousness of separation, not a collective consciousness of love. Because yes, there is a collective consciousness that has planted seeds in the soil of separation, of white supremacy, of capitalistic greed, and we see the fruits of that. Do you not see the fruits of that? All right. Tricia writes in Rest is Resistance, these toxic systems refuse to see the inherent divinity in human beings and have used bodies as a tool for production, evil, and destruction for centuries. A system that thrives by placing profits over people. So this has been going on for centuries. This is not new, y'all. It's been going on for centuries. But guess what, y'all? That's not the whole story. There is also a consciousness that has sown in the soil of oneness, love, peace, unity, and joy. And we are the fruits of that harvest. Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, this community of love and joy. We are the fruits of that harvest. So our message today is rest, the frequency, the sacred frequency of fall. So frequency is a measurement of vibration. A lot of times we use vibration and frequency interchangeably, but they're not the same thing. Frequency measures the vibration. So from a spiritual perspective, it's the vibration that is being measured of our consciousness. Our frequency is our consciousness that is being measured by our vibration. So all of us have a vibration. We're all energy, right? So what is it that you are broadcasting in your vibration? Just like a radio, there are high frequencies and there are low frequencies, and we get to choose the station that we are tuning into as we sow our seeds. No one can make us do anything. No one can make us feel anything, because we know that we are tuned in to a station that is broadcasting love. That is our frequency. That is what we get to choose to tune into. So I love the way that Jesus explains this in parables. Jesus taught through parables, and most of what you will see in the Bible, when it's in red, is Jesus speaking, and usually it's a story. Jesus loves stories. Stories are a powerful way to get across spiritual truths. So one of the parables that he shares is the parable of the sower. A sower went out to sow seeds. Some fell along the path and the birds ate it. Some fell on rocky ground, sprang up quickly, but withered in the sun because it had no root. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns choked it out. But some of those seeds fell on good soil, where it produced a harvest 30, 60, and even 100-fold. So notice here that the seeds are all the same. The farmer had the same seeds that he was tossing around, right? But where the seeds were landing were in different soils, right? In science of mind, the creative process is often illustrated as the seed, the soil, the plant. When the farmer plants a seed, they invoke the law. The seed symbolizes our thoughts, ideas powered by our words, our feelings, and our beliefs. The seed descends into the soil. Our thoughts descend into our soul, and the Lord receives it and it executes it. It don't ask no questions. It don't say, you sure? It don't say, I don't feel like doing that today. Can you come back on Tuesday? No, the law accepts it, executes it, and will create it. It's impersonal to the seed, to the thought. It will create. So remember in the parable, Seeds scattered along the path. Seeds not covered got eaten up by the birds because it had no protection. It was just exposed. Seeds on rocky ground, shallow roots got scorched by the sun, gone. Seeds scattered among thorns. They sprouted, but what happened? The thorns choked them. But the seeds in good soil, they multiplied beyond measure. We get to decide the quality of our soil. Speaking of quality, this year, some of us planted qualities that we committed to embodying, expressing, and experiencing. Remember that? I see some heads shaking. So I'm going to share some of them with you in case you have forgotten. Shay, gratitude, grace, joy, and glory. Fee, steadfast commitment, positive influence, undeniable love. Sekou, prosperity and joy. Patty, love and strength. Rev Stacy, I know you're listening on Facebook. Powerful and grace. Julian, change, breakthrough, and connection. Jessica, gratitude, confidence, and harmony. Cheryl, gratitude and prosperity. Sue, love, Christian, self-love, and non-judgment. Bonnie, love, peace, and bravery. Rev Donna Marie, love, resilience, forgiveness. And if I missed you, you could drop it in the chat. These are our seeds. These are our seeds. What are the qualities of your seeds? Now, the question is, what I'm curious about is, did you even plant your seeds? Did you even plant them? Do you even remember that you said, I am going to embody this more fully this year, right? We know that unless a seed is planted, no plant will be produced. I don't care how much you think about it. If you don't take action, nothing will be produced. So if you did plant your seeds, where did you plant them? Did you scatter your seeds along the path and let worry and doubt nibble them away? Did they fall on rocky ground, and when challenges came, anger and fear burned them up? Did they fall among thorns, and when things got uncomfortable, you pulled back instead of moving forward? Or did you plant your seed in good soil, in faith, even knowing faith as small as a mustard seed? As small as a mustard seed, y'all. That's all we need to trust that it will manifest and multiply no matter what, because the law executes. Faith is a seed which carries the potency of life from one expression of life to the next. So is your seed planted in the law of harmony, in the sacred frequency of the Most High? Jesus said in Matthew 17:20, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. So this is the time, y'all. This is the time to tell the mountain in our lives and in this world to move. Ernest said, a good tree produces good fruit. So good thoughts bear a harvest of good deeds. If a man's life produces good deeds, then the man is himself good. And this, no matter what his particular religion may or may not be. So we are known by the fruits that we bear. We can't fake it. It will be revealed. We are known by the fruits that we bear. So we plant our seeds, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our actions in good soil. The fruit of love is multiplying and doing the impossible that is always possible with God. We do not sink into the frequencies of fear and separation. We stand as representatives of love consciousness. Know that you are governed by a divine government. Divine government. And that law is constant and consistent and reliable, and is for my prosper and for my good. This divine government is one of love and law, and it governs everything. That is what we get to put our everything in. That divine government. This is our sacred harvest. This is the frequency that we are tuned into. So we stand in a collective consciousness of love that is fierce. Love is fierce, y'all. It is creative. It is rooted. It is a love that cannot and will not be moved. It is a love that says to the mountain, move, and it will move. Remember the lyrics in the song. I got a seed in the ground that God is blessing, no more stressing. And it is showing this is your season for grace and favor. Everything is working together for your good. This is our season for grace, for favor. This is your season to reap what you have sown. But you got to put the seed in the ground, in the good soil, in love consciousness. And when we do that, we reap. And in that reaping, we have resources, not just for today, not just for this moment, but for future use. So when someone says to you, WTF, you can say back to them, WTP. Let's get plucking. What's the plucking? The plucking is love. The plucking is oneness. The plucking is a seed that is planted in the good soil that is multiplying good. So let's close this with a spiritual mind treatment. I invite you to go within. And as you go within, I invite you to imagine that seed, that quality that you are recommitting to now, that you are allowing to rest in this sacred frequency of the harvest. And we recognize that there is one life, one presence, one sacred frequency that moves through all creation. It is the infinite source, the solid ground upon which we stand, the love that multiplies, the law that governs, the love that sustains us, the grace that shows us the way. This presence is God, and it is right here, right now, everywhere we are, God is. Where we stand is on sacred ground. So I am knowing that I am one with this presence, just as a seed is one with the soil in which it is planted. So too am I one with the spirit that sustains me. This truth is not only mine, but yours. It is ours. There is no separation. We live, we move, we have our being in God as a collective body of love. I declare and affirm that the seeds we have sown this year, the qualities of love, grace, steadfastness, prosperity, strength, gratitude, joy, and more are planted in good soil. They are rooted in faith, nourished by principle, and multiplied in divine order. Every seed bears fruit, 30, 60, and 100-fold. not only for our individual lives, but for the collective harvest of humanity. So I speak this word of rest. I speak this word of release. I speak this word of restoration. We let go of the seed planted in fear. We let go of the seed planted in doubt. We let go of the seed planted in separation. They have no power here. Instead, we align with the sacred frequency of the Most High, where every vibration is tuned into oneness, wholeness, and peace. And so I celebrate that our community that is rooted in oneness and living as principle, is a field of good soil. We are the good trees that bear good fruits. We are the collective harvest of love, joy, peace, abundance, prosperity. This is who we are, and this is what we reap. So with gratitude overflowing, I release this word into the Lord, knowing that it is already done, already multiplied, and already fulfilled in divine right order. And we know this together, and we affirm, and so it is. And so it is. Amen.